That's very offensive. Today we're going to talk a little bit about welding. I caught you at the very wrong time there, didn't I?
No.
Luke's just doing a beautiful manifold, T4 with a quick spool valve in, and one of the high pressure turbo smart that we like to use. It's a very expensive gate, but it's really, really good, so that's why we use it. Look at those welds. Beautiful. Anyway, and what am I welding today? Well, I've got the crap job. So, a guy has rung me up who does some Land Rover conversions, and he said, can you make me one of these that has like a bit of a 45-degree angle? He's buying some other bits off us, and I said, yeah, okay, no problem. So what I've done is I've taken a normal housing, I've washed it with a steam cleaner, and then I have cleaned the inside of it with a Scotch pad, because obviously a little bit of coolant residue and what have you, so I've given that a good scuff up. And then with the outside, I've given it some of the old Whizzy Whizzy, so that's all nice and clean. So I'm going to get this into a nice working location, get the TIG out, and give it a weld around. Bear with me, more to come. So this is the beast we're going to be using. This is the Power Weld XTT202 AC/DC pulse welder, just in case you wanted to know. We have, oh, that was good. We have two of these bad boys. One that we have permanently set up for steel and one that we have permanently set up for alloy. Unless we're doing a special job which requires two, and then we can swap and change. We like the Power Weld stuff, the MIG's Power Weld and some of the other bits of Power Weld as well. So that's the machine. So before we can start welding, obviously ensure your gas level is good, all obvious stuff, but we need to sort that tip out because that's dirty and absolutely awful. So that's going to need grinding up. Remember, with aluminium, we're not trying to put a point on it, it's just a round ball. So it's naughty, but I take the electrode and pop it in the drill. It gives me a nice even finish. Now remember, never grind your electrode to the side. It's always meant to be lengthways. So, turn on the sander. And we're just going to give it. Kind of got like a rounded tip, which is nice. That's what we're after. That's what we're after. These are the tungstens we're using today, white tips. Can't beat a good old white tip. So let's install. Assign yourself a nice comfortable place to sit so that you've got a steady hand. And just for the tax welding, you want the amperage quite high. Maybe not quite that high, probably like 80, yeah, something like that. Make sure your tungsten's nice and close, you don't want too much length, good gas coverage, make sure your gas is working. Make sure you've got your personal protective equipment on. Ooh, nice. That actually merged beautifully for that first tap, you know. I expected it to just be like, with it being like genuine 200-year-old material. Oh, beautiful. For those first taps. This is where it all goes downhill. When it goes well at the beginning, you know that it's going to be a recipe for disaster. Again, comfortable location is really important when it comes to TIG welding. You want to be relaxed, never strain yourself. Don't strain yourself in general. Right, drop that down, now we're not tacking. Let's try it at 64. not too bad, a little bit pigeony. We can run a second pass if required. Even though I've cleaned that, you can smell the coolant. You could probably smell it just watching this. That's getting warm. Right, we'll continue this later. So a quick look at the first pass. A little bit untidy around here. We had a little bit of contamination, which you can see. I've cleaned this up with a Scotch pad again. I'm going to do another run over it. But importantly, we can see internally it looks really quite nice. What you don't want is it to be blown and all messy inside, because the cut and the joint was not tight. So that's good. So giving it a clean, going to do another pass over it just to make sure it's absolutely 100% sealed and nice and neat for the customer, and then we'll be good to go. Cleaning the material as we go along, really neatening it up. I've got my rod there just in case I have to add any. The heat was just getting a little bit high there, but we can see how much smoother and neater that is with that second cleaned pass. Just this section here where it's dipped, you can see that's just a bit too much heat. I don't run a pedal. This is just on the button. So yeah, we'll let that cool for a minute, turn it, and then continue the pass. And then it's going to look all nice and neat and done. Okay, so now we have the finished product. Run a second pass over it just to make it look nice and neat. I've given it a little clean with the Scotch. Don't expect outstanding, absolutely amazing, completely brilliant results with an old piece of cast aluminium, but if you can make it look nice and neat, then we're all good. So if you were wondering what this is even for, this is for a Land Rover. When you mount one of these, sorry about the rubbish pile, we have a great big pile of rubbish because the new saw's just arrived and we were so excited to try it out, we haven't even cleared that up yet from yesterday. Anyway, yeah, so when this is mounted in a Land Rover, the steering box is mounted right here and it contacts with this. Obviously the alternator, as you can realise, would be in the way as well, and that's why we make the high mount alternator brackets. But basically this just gets that water hose away from the power steering box. So yeah, there you go. Just if you're interested in the welding equipment, if you ever want to do little bits and pieces like this at home, the TIG machine that you need needs to be AC/DC. It has to be AC to be able to alloy weld, because it breaks that surface coating first with one polarity and then it welds with the second. Whereas a DC obviously is just a single direction wave. So if you're going to get yourself one, you think you might be doing aluminium, it is worth spending the extra money and going AC/DC. My two are both 200 amps. They're really quite reliable. You can run them at 200 amps nearly all the time without any issues if you need to go that high. But there are other brands out there. If you've got any welding related questions, by all means, you could drop me a message or whatever. I don't profess to be an expert. You know, we're more than capable, but I know that there are some hardcore, die-hard welding guys out there that's probably going to see 10 faults in what I've just done. But yeah, you know, we're all still learning. Enjoy.